Afghanistan. A landlocked multi-ethnic country located in the heart of South Central Asia. With a current population of over 32 million people, the geographic size of the country compares to a combined Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, and Ohio, with an edge into Pennsylvania. Lying along important trade routes connecting southern and eastern Asia to Europe and the Middle East, Afghanistan has long been a prize sought by empire builders. And for a millennia, great armies have attempted to conquer it, leaving traces of their efforts in great monuments now fallen to ruin. The country's forbidding landscape of deserts and mountains has laid many imperial ambitions to rest, as has the tireless resistance of its fiercely independent people. So independent that the country has failed to blend into a nation, but has instead sustained as contentious ethnic factions and alliances. One such faction are the Hazara, historically the most discriminated ethnic minority group in Afghanistan. Living primarily in the rugged plateaus of the country, it is said they are descendants of Genghis Khan, of the 13th century. However, the Hazara are among the most hated by the Taliban Sunni population, who constantly pummel the Shia Hazara with discrimination and extreme violence. Since the 1960s, Hazaras have actively campaigned against policies that discriminate against them, demanding equal rights as citizens of Afghanistan. In this program, we will meet and hear from a Hazara man born in Afghanistan, who, at the age of 7, began to work at various jobs to survive. Adopted by an American family while in his teens, today this man has become a successful American citizen. A national sales director, book author, entrepreneur, and mindset coach. Yazdan Bakhsh.
I live in basically village, high mountain in Afghanistan. We basically run away from the Pashtun, which is the Kuchis, they call them. They come after us, try to take our animal and stuff. But I grew up at the high mountain and stayed there by staying safe from the Pashtuns, the Kuchis, you know. Then my mother passed away. I never met her before I could know what's going on. My father was there, but he's always run away from the Kuchis because they always try to harass him, take him, you know. And they told me, oh, money and all that, yeah. Then when I was 6 years old, and my father brought us, take us to Kabul, which is the capital, and that was, we can blend it in there. They cannot find us, you know. And when we went to Kabul, then well, I have a siblings, you know, 6, 7 siblings. They were younger and older, and we all started to go to work, start to make you know, support ourselves at age 6, 7 years old. When I was that age, and I was working, have families, and working in there, then I end up one house with really nice people. I don't know what ethnic they were, because we have a lot of different tribe over there. Then they gave me a place to live and also feed me, and also they gave me a very small amount of a salary, which is, my father used to come pick them up, my salary. I was really happy to have a place at home, and I was there for about 2-3 years. Then they took me to a movie, Persian movie, Iranian movie, and I saw it was really free over there in Iran, you know, stuff. And I said, wow, I'd like to go to Iran. And I was maybe 9, 10, I can remember that age, yeah. And that's how start my really goal set. Like every time I was thinking constantly, I'll be in Iran. I want to move to Iran. And this, because really harsh, really, we were discriminated against our race, our, you know, yeah. They don't like us. In fact, we're only the native in there, in Afghanistan. But anyway, I did escape. Well, what's the hard part was that same people was chasing my father. They found me, and I was working in a hotel, and then they wanted to, basically, I was 14 years old. That was the time they wanted to take me to work for them, basically slavery, you know. And I literally escaped at the hotel. I went to hide in the mountain. Finally, I did enough save money to get a passport. Basically do a lot of bribing over there and pay everybody whatever I had to get it. And I got my passport and come down and took a bus from Kabul to Mashhad in Iran. And of course, I couldn't stay there very long because I have no work permit, I have no money. I did work a little bit in Iran. Then I was afraid they're going to send me back. I was too close. Then I'm traveling a little bit around to Middle Eastern countries, and I end up in Lebanon. Lebanon was also very free country, very unique, and I really doesn't have a legal passport or work permit, but I did work. They were not bothering me, and I said, and I was there for about two and a half years, working in an antique store. Basically when the tourists come, I'm sure you're going to show some pictures. I was standing up the top of the camel and distracting the tourists to come there and buy antiques and ride in a camel and stuff. And nobody else can do that job except me. And for 4 hours, I'm standing on top of the camel to make sure the tourists come over there. Otherwise, they go to the temple and never going to stop, yeah. Well, if we not obey their what they want, the law, yeah, we were nobody. We were to them, especially Kuchis. They run the government, the passionate ethnics, and they could do anything they want. They can take us, as slavery. They can kill us, yes. We have no right. Whatever they say, that was, yeah. I was there 14 years old. I was in Lebanon until I was 17. And I literally, that antique store changed my life, helping to meet some American family. Right. He was a professor at the University of Minnesota. And his name is Charles Simkins. Okay. He was out there working for the United Nations, teaching the farmers to grow sunflowers, potatoes, not marijuana crop. That was his job. He was senior project manager for United Nations. The challenge was, there's 10% of farmers, 90% of population in Bekaa Valley is smugglers. I mean, little kid come to you, would you like to buy hashish, mister? Mm-hmm. I mean, that was how was Lebanon. And what was an antique store. And the gentleman come in, and I'm talking with the professor from, he worked for the United Nations, and I was serving coffee, and we start talking. He was telling all kind of, doesn't good for Lebanese, and were they going to stop? Nobody going to grow any more hashish or marijuana. They're not going to be. They're going to help them to teach the farmers to get a better crop and better yield and better profit. And he was scaling, nobody gonna, grow any marijuana. Then I went over there, I talked to them, I said, mister, you saying something, you better watch it because somebody's gonna kill you, because if you think they cannot sell drugs, that's what their business, that's what they do here. Then, yeah. Right. And he was, doesn't say wait, and doesn't say anything, he shake his hand, and he came 2 days later. And he introduced his name, and I introduced my name. He said, what do you mean by that? I said, do you know, if you go over there, any downtown, anywhere, all they do talk about hashish. They don't say about hashish. They have oil hashish, they have hashish, they have a first grade, second grade, that's their business. And I said, I was in that antique store. There's a plane. They made an airport in front of that antique store, not too far from the smugglers. They brought an airplane to land it and fill them up with the hashish. And the Lebanese army came in and tried to stop it. They couldn't stop it, and they fought them, the smugglers, and the army went back. I mean, they filled them up, and the plane took off. I was there. I saw it through my own eyes. Before he came to the United States, he had a birthday. I never forget that he turned 50 that time. He invited me to his birthday. I was there, yeah. And that day, I said, I need some money. I was looking for a job. And he referred to his friend Joe Salem. It was American Embassy, and I got a job in the American Embassy for 3 months.
Really?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay.
And he came here. Then he said, when I come back, I want to maybe you work for me because I bring my family. I was so happy to job because I would not make a lot of money at the antique store. And then when he come back from India, he flew in to come to Lebanon, but was a civil war store in Lebanon, and they could not leave from Beirut to go to Bekaa Valley. We were about hour and a half, 2-hour drive from Beirut to Bekaa Valley, his home, but he didn't get a home in Lebanon.
In his late teens, Yazdan had grown close to the Simkins family. And the situation in Lebanon was leading to civil unrest between the people and government. Hostilities in the region grew, making it unsafe for everyone, but especially for foreigners. It was time for the Simkins to leave, and to take Yazdan with them. They barely made it to the airport alive, but thanks to Yazdan driving a decoy car to draw attention away from the Americans, they all boarded the last flight out of Beirut before it was closed due to the war. When the plane touched down in Syria, Mrs. Simkins hugged Yazdan tightly, excitedly saying, "You'll be my son Joe." Which also is the title of Yazdan's book telling of his life growing up in Afghanistan, and how he came to America. And the Simkins became his adopted family in America when they all arrived together in New York in 1976. Yazdan has been here for over 45 years. Today, he's helping other immigrants learn and adjust to life in America. He also became involved in politics.
You know, when I came to the United States, I didn't know anything about nothing, here. And my mother was a Democrat. I'm talking about now, again, Mr. and Mrs. Simkins become my adopted family, basically. Maybe I would go back to fight and stuff, but they got me out. The biggest thing was when Carter won and Ford lost, and I have 6 siblings, American, they're from here. Then they were after attacking my dad that night, and I have no idea why they are doing this. I didn't know about the Republican Party or Democrat Party. I thought they were all, the same thing. We all vote. I never knew we can vote because couldn't do that in Afghanistan. But how I said, I said, Dad. My dad was a Republican. My mom was a Democrat. I said, Dad, I'm on your side. I was sorry for the guy. I never knew. But I was suspicious. I want to study. I want to know why this is so important and why this is going on between, that time was so challenging with my parents, the key was for me to find out, and I don't know for a long time. I mean, I could go back before when when Russia invaded. I came as a student here. Mm-hmm. When Russia invaded Afghanistan, and I become a refugee status. That's how I become become illegal here to get a green card. That and gave me a green card, but. And they would talk about this welfare and stuff. I couldn't understand that, why they killed me, And the thing was, I was entitled to that, And I asked my mother, I said, why they gave me this? Because I was 22 years old then. I was working, side job, cleaning driveways or mowing the lawn or painting neighbor's house. That's how I was get paid, because I couldn't work at the factory or anything like that because I was not legal yet, And my mom said, well, that's how we help people. I said, I've been there when I was younger. Now I don't need any help, But, again, I asked my same question to my dad. I said, Dad, where's this money come from? They gave me or they offered me my school and all that. He said, they take it from me and give it to you. And I said, Dad, I don't want your money. I want to make my own. He said, I want to do. My belief, myself personally, there's a lot of nice people here. There's some not very nice people there, and I've been, for me, I'm always say the way it is. I believe, I call myself conservative American. That's my belief is, and some of them doesn't like the way I say it. They are not nice to me. I don't know why, but I've been certain time I did certain things. For example, I went to the booth, volunteer or something, and they come and start attacking me because of why I'm working for a Republican booth. To me, it doesn't make any sense. I can do what I want to do. I'm still free, thanks God. If I can work for a Republican Party or a Democratic Party, that's my choice. I was just volunteer helping them. That's literally happened in the state fair a couple of times. Yeah. I love that's the Republican seniors. They see it. They've been through. They know what's going on. But the biggest challenge we have in Minnesota, I'm very involved because I believe, who support businesses, who works, we will take care of those need the help. That's I see a lot of Republicans do that. But the challenge is they're constantly busy. They're not reaching out to the minority coming in here in our state, and they don't know the difference between like I did between Republican or Democrat. Let's say the two parties what we the biggest party is. But my belief is the senior Republicans need to reach out to the new immigrants. Yes. and share with them, tell the value, because to me it is my religion and my belief. I don't believe take a baby's life. That's the biggest thing for me, and I believe with my Irish mother, I call her my American mother, was here today, she would agree with me, because she was very religious. She was she believed life, that she was in fact, she educated me when I was going to adulthood, why should the right thing to do, The biggest challenge is in our country a lot of the time, our school system just totally teaching one side, the aisle. And I had a lot of conflicts with the teachers, with the principals, and I literally I moved my kid because I was disagree what their job is. I believe the teachers, the school system is to teach math, English, all the science. The religious and the politics, that should be parents' job. And I've been involved with my kid all their life. I don't have a college degree. I make sure they have a college degree. I taught them how to work. They're both them in a young age still. They're really successful, doing a great thing. But their value, they see me, what I believe, what I do, and they follow pretty much. I'm talking about the American ways, yes. What America is supposed to be. What my mother was a Democrat, but she was a great heart. She was the most hardworking lady I met. So the same thing, my father, my American father, and that was the value I learned at age 17. It's never too late, and I learned how to, and she taught me. In fact, she was the first time I did volunteers, Meal on Wheels. She was out there. That's how I learned to help others. Yeah, and I still do today. I start with the Green Card Voices, helping the new immigrants they can get their 2 feet, And the challenge we have for the new immigrants still, we continue to try to give them, so instead of to educate them, you just have to show them how to get a job, how to, go to find a job. That's the best way, not to, help them whatever they need until, the biggest thing is you have to teach them how to survive, how to take care of themselves and their family. That's my belief is, which is I do every day with Afghan refugees right now. Personal liberty. My belief is that means freedom in personal liberty. When you have the personal liberty, that's a give. You can do almost anything the right thing. And I came in is $3 in my pocket here. I couldn't work in that time because of this, and I knew always I could be success in my mind, because I knew I could do certain things. I started, at the age 22 when I got my green card, and I started with working with the financial services, with the network business, Art William, and I had really challenged with my test because my English and stuff, but I never gave up. I took them many times to pass my test exam. But anyway, after 8-9 years, I become a totally success, because I was helping, I was serving other Americans here in building business, my own, because that's people could not hire me because they wouldn't, because I don't have no education. I had a mechanic degree. I want to race car. That's my goal, was to make a lot of money. When you're always, in Afghanistan, I slept many times without a food or a daytime, because we don't have anything, and that stay with you the rest of your life. I see that, but that's what America gave you. If you're willing to pay the price, work hard, help others, do the right thing, you're going to be success. I end up after 8-9 years, I have to not worry about where's the money come from.
Today, Yazdan is the National Sales Director for the first technology ever that is designed to activate your body's own dormant stem cells. Yazdan Bakhsh's book, You'll Be My Son Joe, is available on Amazon and at other fine bookstores. Yazdan can be contacted through ybakhsho@gmail.com, facebook.com/yazdan.bakhsh.71, or phone at 651-482-9164. GreenCardVoices.org is a non-profit organization dedicated to build inclusive and integrated communities between immigrants and their neighbors through multimedia storytelling.